Welcome, y'all, to another episode of Sample Size Sense. Thank you so much. My name is Eric, of course, and I appreciate it, every bit of it. Thank y'all. Thank y'all so much, man. It's been a whirlwind, y'all, and a ride, hell of a ride, actually. We almost done. It's almost over with, y'all, for the end of the year. I'm looking forward to next year because I have a couple of changes that I'll be doing next year. And I'll talk more about that later on in the year, or I'll talk about that at the beginning of next year. So somebody hit me up on Instagram last week and he said, yo, I like your page. It's just you never really talk about anything that's really local or not mainstream. And I said, yeah, I mean, and I responded back, I typically don't do mainstream stuff. And the reason why is because I think there's a whole slew of fragrance houses that are available that you can buy, for really good prices, for reasonable prices, for sometimes the same prices as you would with mainstream fragrances or whatever, or fragrance houses. However, I said, you know what, this time around, I will do one. And this is one that's considered mainstream, although it is kind of niche, a little bit luxury niche is what I was going to say. But it's still mainstream because a lot of people know it. A lot of people know it. In fact, their most popular fragrance is probably the number one fragrance in the world. I don't know. I'm just throwing out random stats like that, but I may not be correct with that. But anyway, it's by Maison Francis Kurkdjian, and it's Baccarat. What is Baccarat 540 or something like that? That's probably one of the most well-known fragrances in the world. I mean, people like Drake used to wear it, before he came up with his own thing, and other people used to wear it. You see a lot of celebrities, a lot of athletes and stuff, they'll wear stuff like that. So I try to focus my attention on other things besides that, besides the mainstream stuff. But at any rate, I said I was going to try Francis, or MFK, was what they call it, Maison Francis Kurkdjian, which I said I was going to try one of their other ones, which is actually, to me, better than Baccarat. And in every way. And it's perfect for the fall and the wintertime because it's one of those warm, cozy fragrances, which I've been telling you for the last couple of weeks now. That's kind of the vibe now. You want to start getting into some warm stuff, something that's going to project a little bit more loud, and something that's not going to be, very subtle, like the spring and the summertime and stuff like that. You want something that's going to project, that goes in accordance to your body temperature and whatnot. So with that being said, I got this one right here. Now it's probably been about 3 years since I've actually smelled this, and it's called Oud Satin Mood. Oud Satin Mood by Maison Francis Kurkdjian, MFK for short. And this is probably my favorite one. Well, one of my favorite ones besides Gentle Fluidity. I really like that one too. The silver one, the Gentle Fluidity silver one. I really like that one. And yeah, again, it's been about 3 years. Let me grab this real quick. And it's been about 3 years since I've actually had it. So I figured I'll go ahead and just try it again and rate it 1 through 10 this time around. So some of the top notes are, the top notes are Bulgarian rose, violet, and strawberry. Oh, shout out to DKNX because this is where I got this one from. I got it from DKNX. Obviously, you can get this from anywhere. I want to say the going rate for this particular fragrance is about $200. Maybe a little bit less than $200, depending on where you go. There's websites like Joma Shop, which is what a buddy of mine told me about recently. Joma Shop is a place where you can go and get really good fragrances. Fragrance Net is another one. And obviously, I recommend either DKNX, Scent Split, or the Scent Room. Though here in Dallas. But I don't think, I know the Scent Room I don't think they sell MFK. Matter of fact, I'm pretty sure they don't sell MFK. So you would have to go to either Scent Split or to DKNX to get a small decan of it. Or if you want to get the actual fragrance, you can just go to a department store. Nordstrom, Neiman Marcus, the usual suspects. They normally have it. But anyway, the top notes is Bulgarian rose, violet, and strawberry. The middle note is only one note, which is Turkish rose, and The base notes are oud, vanilla, oh yeah, buddy, benzoin, caramel, and cedar. Yeah, see, this is the reason why. Look at my little tester strip. It's coming apart. It's coming to pieces. Look at that. It's terrible. But the rose on top of strawberry, on top of violet, on top of oud. Oh man, it's to die for. Yeah, this is, yeah. Again, I know I love this. I remember this fragrance because again, it's been about 3 years, but I remember this fragrance and I remember loving it at first sniff. At first sniff when I had the chance to back then. If I had to describe it, it smells, I mean, it smells just like I said, a rose on top of a rose. Think of it like this. If you had, if you were in, I don't know, Kroger or somewhere, not even Kroger. Maybe if you were in Callaway Gardens. I don't know if there's a Callaway where you're watching this, but if you were at like a flower house or something like that, or a nursery, and you have a couple of roses in your hand, and you walk around some violets, and you, this is extremely sexy. It's unisex. But it is extremely, extremely sexy. Y'all, and this is an older fragrance too. It's one of their older ones. But it just smells so, to me, it smells familiar. It smells like something I've smelled a very, very, very long time ago. But it just smells welcoming. It smells extremely sexy, extremely seductive. Almost like you have to wear this with, I would actually say you wear this with nothing, with nothing on. Imagine putting this on, you know, for your mate, for your playmate, for your side piece, for your spouse, for your significant other, whoever, and you spray this, and you spray it, and you walk around with it on, and you just get a sense of sexiness. Man, it smells so good. Oh man. And it's so perfect for the fall and the winter time. It just smells like roses on top of roses, on top of a violet, on top of a strawberry. And it has a little bit of a sweet undertone to it too. I guess that may be the caramel or the vanilla. It can be the caramel or the vanilla. But it's so good, y'all. And again, this is readily available. You can find this pretty much anywhere. And I know there's dupes and everything like that, and there's clones, but the original is just so freaking good. 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10. Y'all making my job so easy for me. The last few of them have been home runs, have been showstoppers. With the exception of Moon Fever. Even though Moon Fever, I said it on one of the previous ones, Moon Fever is still a good one, but whatever, but it kind of smelled like body spray. But this one is out the park. Perfect for the fall and winter. Perfect for the fall and winter. Get your nose on this one. Don't take my word for it. Always buy with judgment. Does that even sound right? Buy with judgment? No. Buy without judgment and then make a judgment call based on what you buy. This is only $10. I think it was like $10 for this 2 ounce or whatever. So get your nose on it at DCanX. That's it, y'all. Until the next time, my name is Eric with Sample Size Sense, and thank you so much. Peace.